What's up, everybody? We're at Adventure Motorsports of Northwest Florida in Pensacola, checking out Indian. I know, right? I ride a Harley, but we got to come check out Indians every now and then too, because I am not a Harley guy. In case any of my followers don't understand that, I am just a guy who loves motorcycles, and I happen to ride a Harley right now, and I love my Harley. But I also want to be a realist. So Indian is doing a demo day today out here in Pensacola. They have a 2-day event, and just look at this entire lineup that they got. But today, we're taking out the FTR R Carbon, baby, because the FZ09 history in me is crying for more sport bikes. This is actually gonna be a 2-part video. We're gonna do this one, and then I'll tell y'all later on in the video what we're doing next. But let's get right into it, all right? Here's the intro, and we'll get to the bike.
What's up, everybody? This is Revsanity. Today we're going to be test riding the 2022 Indian FTR R Carbon. But first, a few specs before we get started. This bike is powered by a 1203cc liquid-cooled V-twin motor with a reported 120 horsepower and 87 foot-pounds of torque. This is all coupled with a 6-speed transmission. The seat height is 30.7 inches. We got 17-inch wheels in the front and the rear, with the front tires being a 120/70 R17 and the rear being a 180/55 R17. We have Brembo brakes in the front and the rear, with the front being a dual 320mm rotor with 4 piston calibers and a single 260mm with 2 piston calibers in the rear. It's got a fuel capacity of 3.4 gallons, a dry weight of 479 pounds. For the gauge, we have a 4.3 Ride Command LCD touchscreen display, and this bike is loaded. It's got an Akrapovic exhaust, fully adjustable Olin suspension in the front and the rear, and a lot of electronics like ABS, stability control, traction control. I want to give Adventure Motorsport of Northwest Florida and Pensacola, Florida a huge thank you for letting me come and test ride this Indian. So I created an intro video specifically for them. So let's watch that intro, showcase their store, and let's go right into this review.
Alright, starting with the bike itself. This beautiful carbon right here. This carbon fiber on the gas tank. They got carbon fiber on the front fairing. And then got a little carbon fiber right here on the rear fairing. I don't know how much that's actually going to do. It's actually pretty hideous in my opinion. I would definitely, if I got this bike, the very first thing I would do, take that off, relocate the plate to the back. That's pretty standard. But anyway, let's just kind of walk around this thing for a little bit there. You got full adjustable Olin suspension in the front and the rear. Gorgeous freaking bike, man. I love the red and the carbon fiber in the silver. You got an Akrapovic exhaust on here as well. This is the race-inspired version, not necessarily the rally version or the S. This is also 2022. I should have mentioned that already. But let's go right into the controls here. So, turn the ignition on. I love the technology already. Okay, is it touchscreen? It is touchscreen. All right, so kind of going through here, you got a couple different tacks. That's actually pretty neat right there. A little more sporty looking. So you got your speedometer, your tachometer right here all in one. Shows you what gear you're in, your compass, the temperature, what your fuel mile range is, and your trip mileage. And then kind of going into the settings over here. Let's press, is it press that or is it press this? Let's press that. I guess, you can also do it right here. That's what it is. Yeah, the little right trigger over here will actually go through your modes too. So you got rain mode, standard mode, sport mode. We're gonna try sport mode later, that's for sure. What my understanding of sport mode is your wheelie control comes off. So if you got a twisty throttle hand, you will definitely 12 o'clock this beast and possibly crash it phone. You can actually connect your phone. I'm not going to do it with mine right now, but you can actually connect your phone to it, and if you have a Sena device and stuff like that, it'll pop up with what music and stuff you're listening to. That's pretty dope. Cylinder deactivation, that's on or off. Basically, that means one of the cylinders will shut off whenever it reaches a certain temperature while you're in neutral, or while you're in, while you're not moving. Bam. That's it. It also has cruise control, so I'm assuming you'll just push this in to activate it, and then press 1 down to set it, and then press up to resume it or accelerate. You also got a back menu right here. That goes back and forth between the menu. You got your blinker, you got your horn, high beam and your low beam. That's just a flasher. I bet if you push it forward, it'll come on. Yes, it does. All right, let's mount this bad boy and go see what she's made of, all right? Bam! All right, this is actually my first time riding an Indian. So, a lot of firsts today. I'm really excited. Let's see what this exhaust sounds like. Not too bad. All right, so let's get on out of here and let's get to rolling. We're gonna ride downtown, I believe. Let's give it. That's very, very smooth. Very, very smooth, Indian. Right off the bat. Let's see how nimble this is. Oh man, this is very light. Right off the bat, let's talk about foot position, because I am 6 feet and about 195 pounds, depending on if I drink beer or not. The foot position is actually very, very comfortable. And see my knees are not above the tanks, which typically happens if I'm riding like a Sportster or something with a more cruising style position with mid pegs or whatever. But right off the bat, this feels great. So this shows it'll redline at 9,000 RPMs. One thing I can kind of tell immediately is I do kind of wish that this speedometer, or this whole little display thing, was maybe pushed forward, like, I don't know, like maybe an inch, 2 inches maybe. Make the jokes, freaking internet people. But no, seriously, that's the only negative thing I can think of right off the bat. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. I'm really enjoying making content for you guys. This is a dream come true for me, like as far as being able to ride bikes and actually like create videos for people who are also bike people, right? I love the camaraderie within the community. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Let's continue on with this review. I do like how everything is right here within my fingertips too. I don't have to feel like I have to stretch for anything. Even these triggers, like that is so fun to me. It just feels more intuitive. Now this is my very, very first time ever riding an Indian, and I went straight for my my roots, if you will. My roots being my FZ09. If you're new to the channel, I used to ride an FZ09 back when I very first started the channel. It was my first road bike that I ever bought. I love motorcycles in general, just don't get me wrong. Like I said earlier, I happen to ride a Harley right now. I ride a 2015 Harley Breakout. But I'm not a Harley guy. I'm not like, oh, Harley or nothing. I'm not that kind of guy. I am a guy who loves anything with the motor. I don't have a brand loyalty. I have a lifestyle loyalty, if that makes sense. Anyway, Indian, we're talking about the FTR R Carbon, man. This thing is very, very light. It's a throttle twister, man. But I love the way this looks, man. It says it's got 120 horsepower and 87 foot-pounds of torque. And I'm telling you, just going through the first 3 or 4 gears so far, I'm feeling every single one of them. Every single one of them ponies are rearing their front legs, and it's just begging me to try to wheelie it. But I'm not going to wheelie it because I actually suck at wheelies. But I will try to. Oh, it's very, very aggressive. It definitely wanted me to take that turn a little bit harder. And let's talk about the Olin suspension. I've never ridden a bike with Olins before, so this is the first. And I'm not an engineer, and I'm not like going to claim that I know every single thing there is to know about performance parts or performance. But this suspension feels fantastic. Yeah, these big old Brembo front disc brakes. Yeah, they got plenty of stopping power. It doesn't feel spongy. It feels like immediate. You know, it feels, if I have to get on it really quick. Oh yeah, it's very, very tight. And the seat's not the most comfortable in the world, but it's not bad, by any means. course, this is a different bike. It's a different riding position. You're in more that 3/4 kind of tuck position. I do kind of wish the handlebars were a little bit more angled, just to kind of give me more of a sport feel. But these aren't bad. These aren't bad at all. I found neutral pretty easily. Shifting through the gears is pretty easy. Check that out. It's a limited edition, 492. You know, this 1200 V-twin, I like it. I like it. I like V-twin motors on sport bikes. It's a different feel. I love the naked fairings. You can see the skeleton. You can see the frame of the bike. Oh yeah, it definitely. It's so smooth. Like it just through the whole power band. I can definitely feel it once it hits about 4,500 RPMs. That's whenever the horsepower really kicks in. But it's a smooth power band, like all the way up to, you know, close to red line. And I'm not gonna sit here and like bounce it off the rev limiter or anything like that, but it'll handle it. It'll handle very well. Yeah, I can't get over the suspension, man. The suspension is very, very smooth. I don't feel a thing. Of course, this road also helps. This is a nicely paved road. Yeah, I wanted to take this bike downtown Pensacola to kind of really get a feel for how it kind of feels with the in-town feel. And I gotta say, like, I would definitely have zero qualms with riding this as a daily driver in town. I wish I could take this on like a 100-mile ride, you know, just to kind of see how it really feels in a more long-term seating position. But no, this is comfortable. I don't have any super crazy issues going on with my back or my butt or even my knees or anything like that. But anyway, we're gonna go over to this overpass here, take some pictures, and then after again and see what we think about it on the way back, because I'm gonna hit that interstate on the way back, son. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'll be right back. Well, the B-roll's done. Use some of that for the intro and for the outro. Going to hang on to that one for a little bit to find out. All right, before we get started though, let's go ahead and put this bad boy in sport mode. Bam. And then toggle out of that. We're gonna turn right, nice Tesla. And then we're gonna get on it. Okay, so it picks up. It picks up beautifully. I was told that the sport mode will cause it to come up a little bit on the front end. I guess it turns off the wheelie control. So put a little bit more weight on the front end. That's how you combat that, just a little bit. Let's see what the cruise control is like. Bam, on, set. Super, super convenient. I do love cruise control on a bike because sometimes my throttle hand gets a little bit, you know, worn out. So we'll just push it in again to cancel it. So who's this bike for? I mean, if you're a beginner biker, I would have a hard time saying no, because honestly, it's not that intimidating. Really, the biggest thing about a beginner biker though is just the fear of losing control over the motorcycle. And then bikes like this right here can get away from you. I mean, it's got a lot of freaking horsepower. It's got 120 horsepower. And it's also, MSRP says it's a $17,000 bike, or $16,999, you know what I mean? But, I mean, if you have the money for it, and you know you want to get into like the more aggressive street style riding without going full sport, why not, you know? I mean, I don't see why you couldn't be able to handle it. I mean, it picks up, dude. It picks up real quick. It feels like it's electrically controlled. Yeah, it definitely is. If you twist the throttle too quick and you're a beginner biker, I mean, that would be where I'm like, that's a lot of bike for you, you know what I mean? But shoot, man, if you wanna start out on the 1200, freaking go for it. But this is a very, 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 very fun bike. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this review up. You guys, hope you enjoy the outro. Stay tuned for the next video where I will be riding a 2022 Chief Bobber Dark Horse. That's coming up next. Y'all stay tuned, all right? Stay decent, ride safe. Peace.